I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever thrown out a $20,000 email? Maybe you have. You just don't know it. So, you know, all those emails you get from scammers, and they're like, I don't know, in my business, cinematic. They're like, your book has this cinematic appeal, or like, your book, we want it for our list. We think it's great. We've studied your book. And it's like, I have like 25 books published. You have not. You have not, because if you did, you would have at least like mentioned it. So then you get the like better guys, I guess, who are like, oh, your book, fill in the blank, Crossing Cheyenne. I don't care. Like, it's perfect. We want it. Okay, we all know that these are scammers, right? So we just delete the emails. But I've gotten 2 emails like that, and one of them got me a writing job that was I got paid tens of thousands of dollars for. And then the next one, I'm currently in contract negotiations for potentially the same offering. So, like, I wanted to share with you what you look for when you get those emails, because I don't want you guys throwing money out in your inbox because you just assume it's a scammer. Okay, yeah. So maybe Suzanne Collins has emailed me and said she wants to hang out and talk about books. Maybe J.K. Rowling has done the same. I'm not going to say they haven't, but it wasn't them, and we all know it, including you liar who sent the email. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to break it down. I'm going to go through my process. So the first thing I do is I checked who the email is coming from. Now, most of the time they're coming from, I'm a scammer 0529 at gmail.com. Generally speaking, if that's the case, and I read the email and it looks very AI and very form, nothing against AI. I use AI to write emails too, but you have to make it not look like you've used AI, not to hide anything, but because if you want a human to respond to your email, it still needs to sound like a human wrote it. So you gotta use your head. If I'm unsure, or perhaps it says something like John K at hi.scholastic.com. Well, now it has the word scholastic in it, and they're telling me that they are from Scholastic, and I can see the name at the bottom. Don't be fooled by that. Just because they have the name and the phone number and the website does not mean that when you go to the website and you're like, oh, John does work there. Oh, it must be him. No. First of all, don't click on that link. Go to the website, because that link, they might get in your computer and try to eat things. That's what happens. If you're not sure, it has that keyword in there that you're like, maybe this is Universal Studios. Go to their website. Check. Sometimes I just go to Google. So you go to Google, and I will say, Google, is this person legitimate? Is this a real person? Sometimes it'll tell me right away, no, this is a scam. Lots of people are experiencing this scam. Or I'll go in and say, like, what is the actual business email for Scholastic or whatever the company is? And it will tell me that it's usually like last name dot first name at scholastic.com. Well, mine says hi.scholastic.com. There's my blues clue. It's not a real person. It's somebody impersonating somebody at Scholastic. They really don't want my book. So sad. I cry. We move on. So then the last step that I have is sometimes if I still can't tell, or perhaps, I don't know, the email's tricky or something, I'll also go to LinkedIn, because a lot of these people that are business professional will be on LinkedIn. So the deal that I got this email, and the person was like, hey, I've been following you on LinkedIn, really impressed with your work. I'd love to talk about an opportunity to write a book. And I'm like, sure you have, sure you do. But then at the end, it was like, would love to set up a quick chat. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a human thing. So that piqued my interest. So I went to LinkedIn. I verified that this person existed. I verified that this person had an email address. It matched. Still wasn't secure. So then my next step is to say, if I am pretty confident this is a real person and not a scammer, then my next step is, let's get together for a Zoom. Let's do this right here. Let me see your face. I want to see your face. I want to match it to the face on the interweb and make sure you're a real person. So that's what I said. I'm like, hey, I think I was like kind of a jerk about it too, because I wasn't sure. And I was like, hey, I've got an hour, which was true. I had a class to go to in an hour. But I was like, hey, I have an hour. So if you want to schedule something on Zoom, like send me a link, or if you want to tell me your schedule, whatever. And the person immediately returned my email and said, I'd love to chat. Can you meet in 15 minutes? Here's the project. And he sent me 3 sheets of this particular project they wanted me to possibly work on. Okay, so now my interest is way peaked because now I have a document that has information on it. And yes, it was a little sketchy to open it, but I had already checked the email. I had already verified on LinkedIn. I had already communicated we were going to talk on Zoom. And so I felt as confident as I could to open this email because there were no red flags. So we did the Zoom, and I'm not even going to lie, you guys. While we're in the Zoom, I had my phone like down here, and I'm like, and I'm literally like Googling this dude and his company, and I'm seeing photos of him at like red carpet events or whatever it was, and I'm like, okay, this is totally legit. So we negotiated this deal. I brought my attorney in, and literally it was legit, so much so that they hired me to write a book, and I just completed that book, and I'm sending them my final polished draft today. So I had a client reach out to me and ask if I could put this together. So I don't like people that scam. In fact, many of the scammers that email me, the only thing I say back to them is the word liar. It's kind of fun because they are. And I don't want you to get scammed. I don't want you to pay money to people that just aren't who they say they are. I don't want you to, take your book and put it on a list somewhere that gives somebody permission to copy it. Like, you just don't know. And I know a lot of these scammers also really aren't scammers. They are legitimate-ish companies that are trying to collect authors and writers and, curate their own lists so that they can do marketing and publicity and things for you. So I'm not against that. Like, I work with clients too, but I don't believe in that way of doing things. I don't believe in mass emailing people and taking their dream and using it against them. So it's up to you. Be smart, follow the steps, verify, 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 but remember, don't just delete.